What'd you think when you saw that final last night, the finale with Catanzaro and Hauschka missing?
Oh, I was shocked, as everybody was. I mean, I don't know the answer to this, Rich. You got to get your crack crew on to find out when has two kickers ever missed field goals inside of 30 yards, game-winning field goals in the same game. I don't know that that's ever happened in the history of the NFL. You know, you look at Catanzaro had never missed one inside of 30 yards in his career, and Steven Hauschka has been phenomenal throughout his career. Really one of the best kickers in the NFL. Interesting this year, though, his only two missed field goals are inside of 30 yards. He's perfect over 30 yards for the year, and now he's had two misses inside of 30 yards. But just shocking that they would both miss in overtime.
So which one was worse?
Well, I think Catanzaro's was because Arizona should have won that game. I mean, you get an opportunity. I think he missed because of Wagner. It was in his head. He had jumped over and got the block before. You could tell his form was off. He was trying to rush it. His head came up, his chest came up, and he pulled across. And just like a golf swing, if you come up early, you hook across it. That's why he missed that kick. And for Arizona to come away with the tie was just brutal for them. But the fact that Seattle got life and they get down and their kicker, who's been almost 90% for his career, has one of the worst kicks I've ever seen. I mean, I put a picture on Twitter of the kick of where the ball was. This is a 28-yard field goal in the middle of the field inside in a dome, and that ball didn't even hit the net. It was just a dead shank.
Yeah. So you still think Catanzaro is worse, even though you see you're posting pictures of a ball that didn't even hit the net from 28 yards out?
That kick is one of the worst kicks I've ever seen.
Wow.
But it was worse in the fact for Arizona. Seattle shouldn't have won that game. For them to come away with a tie, they got beat all game. Arizona, when you look at any of the measurables, yards, time of possession, what they did defensively to Seattle shouldn't have won that game. So for them to come away with a tie, they can feel decent about it, whereas Arizona, it absolutely feels like a loss today.
What does Hauschka and Catanzaro do when they get back into their locker rooms? What is that feeling like, Jay?
It's the worst feeling in sports. That day after you miss a game winner is the worst feeling in sports because, every coach in that locker room, every player in that locker room knows that if you did your job, especially a field goal inside of 30 yards, that the feeling in that locker room is different. Whenever you have a loss, it's like a morgue for that Monday in the locker room. But when you're the direct reason for that, and people always have said to me whenever I miss a game winner, well, it's a team game, and while that may be true, you have the opportunity to win the game. And so I always felt it was my fault. If I had an opportunity to make a game winner and I didn't do it, it was my fault. And that's the reality of the position, and you get to celebrate and go crazy when you make a game winner. When you miss a game winner, it's on you. And there's no worse feeling in sports. You don't feel like looking anybody in the eye. You don't want to talk to anybody. You don't really want anybody to pat you on your back because that just makes you feel worse. You got to grin and bear it, and you got to go into that meeting room when you watch the film, and you're just sitting in your seat waiting for the time where they show that opportunity, which they got to do, and they're going to look at the film and talk about it, and you just got to grin and bear it and get through that day. And then Tuesday, you stop thinking about it and you move on, and you try not to let it impact you going forward.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.